Hey, what's up guys? Brad with Squared Away every day, and today we are going to be taking a look at, let's call this video, thoughts on the Tesla Model X Plaid after 6 months of ownership is what we're going to be looking at. So 6 months of ownership, about 6,000 miles, and I'm going to be giving you my honest opinion. This is kind of an interesting video. We actually are going to be walking around the vehicle. It's an interesting video in my opinion because you get kind of all the highlights of what just comes to mind. This isn't like a full-on review how I normally do where it's like 30 minutes to 45 minutes. This is just the highlights of the stuff that I'm telling you about as we're walking through the vehicle, stuff that comes to mind first. And so you really get a very raw, organic opinion from me on just what I think of the vehicle as we're moving through it. So as always, if you like this kind of content, please go ahead and give me a like, give me a sub, and let's hop into it. I used to say that speed is the ultimate priority when you're talking about a performance car, and I don't know if I guess it's a performance vehicle, it's definitely not a sports car, but you get used to speed. You get used to speed real quick. Even a car this fast, and even my S Plaid, you get used to it really quickly, and then you're left with just kind of the meat and potatoes of the car. And so when we talk about that, you know, does the car still feel like a performance vehicle to me? Yeah, sure, it does. It's a very quick vehicle, but you do get used to the speed, and it's not like, I wouldn't say the X Plaid is like a super fun vehicle to drive. It's not like a crazy fun car. What it is a very easy to drive car. It's a great daily driver. The speed is fun to access now and again. It's not something you want to do like all the time, but it's fun to access. And so I'll say it's a very fun, very practical daily driver, probably the ultimate daily driver when you talk about just daily tasks, in the sense that it's fun. I made a video on this, so if you saw it, go check it out. If not, go ahead and watch the video up here. I won't go over it again, but it's a great daily driver. I've been super stoked about it for that. Like I said, where it lacks is going to be the utility space and this like confinement of having to do the 6-seater variant. I don't like that. I don't think it fits everybody's lifestyle, and it'd be nice if they at least offered, you used to be able to get like a little console in between the second row there, which you cannot do anymore. So anyway, kind of the biggest pros of it is the drivability. It's the most relaxing vehicle I've ever driven in my life, and it's one of the fastest vehicles I've ever driven in my life. And so that's a cool, really cool combo to have there. And I do like the ease of use. That's probably the best part of this. Granted, all the Teslas are easy to use. The 3, the Y, the S, the X, I've owned them all. All of them are very easy to use, but this one's probably the most comfortable. You've got the biggest cabin space here. As you can see, it's the widest of all of them compared to, you know, the Y, I guess would be the closest comparison. Maybe the S is probably wider than the Y, actually. But it's just comfortable. It's a comfortable car, real easy to get. See that, how I've got the seat set up for my kiddo? When you open up the Falcon Wing doors, it's so easy to get a kiddo in and out of the vehicle. Oh, I always wonder if it's ever gonna hit that glass. Anyway, and so it's just easy. You come over here, you buckle the kiddo in, and then you're good to go. You just close it, and man, that's nice. I really like that for the 6-seater configuration. The ease of use of buckling kids in is awesome, although I think on the 5-seater, it would still be just as easy. You know, you still got a seat there. So anyway, the Falcon Wing doors and the auto doors and everything like that, it's cool, don't get me wrong. And if you're not in a hurry, or you're somebody that doesn't hurry around or like buzz around, it's really not that big a deal. But for me, somebody that, this is gonna sound so impatient. For me, somebody that like wants to just get in and out of the car, they're like constantly fighting me. And I don't like that. And so I've kind of gotten to the point now to where it's like, you know, screw it. If I crack the little motor off and it needs fixed, they're gonna have to fix it. But I would prefer, I think, to just have a standard door in the front, and then fine, the Falcon Wing doors can be auto. Obviously, they're gonna have to be powered. They're actually very heavy doors. Like, I think one of the techs told me one time, they're like 100 pounds. So we've got this huge piece of glass that goes all the way up to almost like the middle of the vehicle here, and it really allows a lot of light to come into the vehicle. And so if you know anything about optics with you know, scopes or camera lenses or anything like that, the more light transmission you have, that the light is entering the vehicle in low light conditions, like at dusk or at night, it really does make it so it's much easier to observe the environment. So that has been really nice. I do like this huge piece of glass in the front. It really lets you see all the drivers around, and it's super nice. So I've liked that quite a bit. The visibility is relatively good on the front side. On the back, not so good. Kind of hard to see through that back little, you see I've got the headrest down right there, and it's kind of hard to see through that back little window, especially we've got the little spoiler there. It would have been super nice if they had just like a digital rear view mirror here, like all the other modern cars do, especially at this price point. So kind of weird they haven't adapted to that yet, but it is what it is. And we talk about like the speaker system. The speaker system in these cars, the S Plaid was the same, is like super good. You've got speakers there, you've got speakers there, you got speakers all over this thing, and the sound system is very, very good in it. So I do like that. You know, this is quick. This is super quick. One of the best in the industry when we're talking about these little, I don't even know what you call this, just this little center screen. It's very, very good. I like that. It's an awesome thing to have. And this one is, you know, second to none. It's very quick and it feels like you're on an iPad there. So that's been nice. Everybody knows my opinion on the yoke. The yoke is not any better than a standard traditional wheel. Although it looks cool, it's not any better than a wheel, and other people have hard time or they're intimidated by this particular thing. So if they want to borrow the vehicle, like my wife or something, not borrow it, it's hers too, obviously. But if she needs to drive it, it's just not as comfortable, and so I just would prefer to have the wheel. Other than that, let's go ahead and take, oh, and you see this right here. I've got my drink in this little cubby there. It's not actually a drink holder because the drink holders are too small. So this drink doesn't fit in there, kind of a pain. I've got another drink back here just sitting in the cup holder back there. And so the drink situation is bizarre. Most people carry around big water bottles these days. I would suspect, particularly with this clientele, the people that are buying Teslas. And so I don't know why the drink or the cup holders are so incredibly small. Now we hop out, we take a look at the aesthetic here. You know, to be honest with you, I don't really like the aesthetic of these Model X's. I call it my minivan, and it kind of is, particularly because this one has the 6-row seat configuration, which honestly is kind of a great for me. I really wish that they would allow you to do either a 5-seater configuration or a 7. Well, I don't need to be biased. And see this too? This is a pain. I just got out of the vehicle and it's like not wanting me to get in. I've even got with me the phone's in the vehicle, first of all, and I even have this little key with me. And so that aspect is like super irritating when you try to get into the car, and it'll always let you in eventually. But when you're trying to get into the car and you're just trying to do stuff, like I'm just doing stuff in the day, that is super annoying. I hate that. And it's not just the X Plaid, it's just really any Tesla. And people said in one of my videos I made about the key is like, oh, I can always get into my car. And you can always get in. It's just a matter of like how many times you have to let it know you're there before it's going to let you in. Anyway, I digress. So these seats right here, this is the 6-seater configuration, and it's kind of an irritating thing because you can see we've got this gap here, and so all the cargo I have can just fall through the front. I know this is sounding like, geez, he just hates the car. I don't hate the car, but they've got some annoying things. Look at this. I have to like get up in and push this button right here, and then I pull the seat back, and it's really kind of an annoying thing to do. So annoying with the car here. I got to do it on the other side now. And you're like, Brad, why don't you just leave the seats down, bro? You don't even use the 3rd row. It's because I do like my crap to be secure back here. That's why. So I pull them up, I put these down so I can see out the back window a little bit better. And I pull these up so that the gear is all secured. And there's still a little pocket right there. So kind of weird. Not super stoked about like the utility space of the 6-seater variant there. All right, I just had to wait for a car to pass. So anyway, so the aesthetic of the vehicle, not my favorite. Looks kind of like a minivan at certain angles. Certain angles look very good. We'll see if we can capture one of them. And so that's why I went ahead and wrapped this sucker in multicam black, was to try and just like make it a little bit more palatable for me to like it, and it did not work. I just don't like the look of the vehicle at all. It's not my favorite. It's not an ugly car, but it's not like a good looking car. You know, when you're spending that much money on a vehicle, you kind of want it to look good too. So anyway, that's that with that aspect of it. Now the air suspension in this particular vehicle is really nice. I like it for Colorado because, you know, you get a lot of snow that builds up and then it ices up overnight, and you don't want to be running into that with your bumper. And so the air suspension, this is a beast in the snow. Really all the Teslas are beasts in snow, but this particular one is even more so because of the ground clearance that you can get out of it. So that's super nice. This one came with I opted for the 20-inch wheels. And if you're looking at buying a X, not even just an X Plaid, if you're looking at buying an X, I would go with the 20-inch wheels as well, maybe even a 19 if you can fit it over the brakes. And that's because I hear a lot of people running on 22s and they're like, oh, my tires are blowing out all the time. Why are my tires blowing out all the time? Well, because it's a vehicle that's like over 6,000 pounds, the GVWR that is. It's over 6,000 pounds and you're riding on freaking 22s, that thing, you know, you're bound to have problems with that. So that's why I went with the 20-inch. It's an SUV or a crossover rather. Wow, this bird's being really loud. A crossover rather, and it's such a heavy vehicle, you wanna make sure you've got enough rubber and air to actually protect you from having any sort of blowouts on the road. So anyway, I've been super happy with these all seasons. They've been really good in the snow, and I'm stoked that I got the 20-inchers on there. Anyway, great car. I'm super excited about it. Would I buy it again? No, I probably wouldn't. It's just for me and my lifestyle, I have a lot of crap that I haul around for like work and stuff like that. And so for me, it doesn't really fit super well. But if I was somebody that didn't have a bunch of crap to haul around and I had like a bunch of kids or something, I think this would be like the coolest minivan that you can get, in my opinion. So I would like that. Here we go, turn the light on there. I would like it for that, just for an awesome daily driver. But like I said, the cargo space is limited. And so for me, I'm gonna be getting some else. But as you guys already know, I only keep a vehicle typically for like 10, 12 months anyway. And then I'll make a ton of videos on that next one. And then we kind of keep moving through. Although I am in the process of getting a press vehicle from an electric car company right this second, and maybe a second one. So that'll be pretty cool there. But yeah, I don't think I would pay the additional money to go to an X, pay the 40, 50, 60K, whatever kind of trim model you're gonna get from a Y. I just don't think so. Personally speaking, I don't need the extra space for like the cabin interior, and I don't think it's worth the additional money to bump it up like that, especially when I'm driving with the family and stuff. My girls do not like the speed of the car, you know, like throws them around and like, you know, nobody really likes it except me. And so, I don't really need the speed. So it's fun, it's a cool car. Would I buy it again? No, probably not. Am I gonna get something new? Yes, I am. I'm gonna sell the vehicle like I always do. But that's pretty much it, guys. So if you like this kind of content, or if you have any questions about the vehicle, stuff that I didn't mention, this is just stuff that pops up off the top of my head, feel free to ask me in the comment section down below. And if you think I'm wrong and just a big idiot, go ahead and let me know in the comment section down below. Thanks so much, and we'll see you in the next one.